Welcome to the Beau Show, the home of faith, family, and freedom. Think of me, all I ask of you, the point of no return, masquerade, wishing you were somehow here again. These are all quintessential songs from the Broadway musical, The Phantom of the Opera. Phantom as a musical is based upon the novel, The Phantom of the Opera, by Gaston Leroux from 1910. The musical, with the music by Andrew Lloyd Webber and lyrics by Charles Hart, opened on London's West End in 1986, and then on Broadway in 1988. It starred the incomparable Michael Crawford as the disfigured Phantom, and Sarah Brightman as Christine Daae, the ingenue ballet dancer who became the Phantom's obsession. Phantom is the longest-running show in Broadway history, generating $6 billion worldwide in gross. And it held the title of the most successful entertainment event until The Lion King overtook that status. By 2019, it had been seen by over 140 million people in 183 cities across 41 countries. On Sunday, April 16th, Phantom will say its goodbye to Broadway, marking the end of an era and a historic run. I remember that when I was growing up, I wanted to see Phantom as a young actor and singer. My parents drove me to Nashville for the tour, and I ended up seeing an understudy or an alternate actor play the role of the Phantom, which many might be disappointed by. But not having ever seen the show other than listening to the soundtrack, I had no frame of reference. And I wrote that particular actor a letter, telling him how much I appreciated and valued his performance. And lo and behold, he actually wrote me back. To an aspiring young actor, this is gold. To have anyone you admire write you back is a great inspiration. As a kid, I volunteered as an usher at the Orpheum Theater in Memphis just to watch this show for free over and over, and even bought a mask so that I could pretend playing the role one day. Now, many of you may not be aware of the plot of Phantom, so if you don't, I will give you a brief synopsis. At an auction, various antiquated items are being bid on, and an elderly Raoul, the Vicomte de Chagny, notices a music box with a monkey playing the cymbals on it. He recognizes it from what someone has recounted to him. The next item, lot 666, is a chandelier that is associated with a mysterious tale of the Phantom of the Opera. And when they plug it in, sparks fly, and it takes us back to that period in time. As the production of the opera Hannibal is underway, a backdrop inexplicably falls, which prompts rumors that the Phantom is there. The prima donna soprano Carlotta storms off, which prompts the young ballet dancer Christine Daae to sing. And to the great surprise of the opera promoters, she blossoms right before their eyes. We find out that she has been coached by a mysterious angel of music. And when her childhood love, Raoul, shows up to take her to dinner, the angel appears and leads her to his lair, which is where we come face to face with the Phantom. He has already imagined her as his bride, and she pries his mask off to reveal his disfigured face, which stirs his anger and embarrassment. The Phantom demands that Christine replace Carlotta in the next opera, but when that demand is not met, he enchants Carlotta's voice to croak like a frog. Terrified, but also happy to be singing, Christine is whisked away by Raoul, who can't believe what she is saying about her mysterious teacher. He comforts her, telling her that he's there and that all he wants is her love. This is the song All I Ask of You, which is performed at many weddings. Back last year, when the show was seeking replacements for the character of Raoul, I had to submit a video audition singing this very song. And I want to show you a portion of it.
No more talk of darkness. Forget these wide-eyed fears. I'm here. Nothing can harm you. My words will warm and calm you. Let me be your freedom. Let daylight dry your tears. I'm here with you, beside you, to guard you and to guide head with talk of summertime. Say you need me with you now and always. Promise me that all you say is true. That's all I ask of you.
Now, this is what an actor must demonstrate in order to be considered for the role of Raoul, for which I've been considered many, many times over the years. When it is performed on stage as a duet, it sounds like this.
Share each day with me, each night, each morning.
Say you love me.
You know I do.
Love me.
That's all I ask of you. Love me, that's all I ask of you.
All I Ask of You is one of the most romantic duets in all of musical theater. Within the plot, this budding romance angers the jealous Phantom, who proclaims imminent disaster. In a grand masquerade at the opening of Act 2, the peculiarly absent Phantom appears as a character in this masquerade, demanding a new opera of his be premiered with Christine as its lead. In this opera, Christine finds out that the male lead in the opera has been replaced by the Phantom in disguise. When she removes his mask, he is humiliated as everyone sees his disfigurement. He drags her to his lair, and when Raoul comes for her, he is trapped in a noose. So the Phantom gives her an ultimatum. Be with him, and Raoul will be spared, or if not, he dies. Christine shows him compassion and kisses him, which meant the world to this person who had lived in shame. It teaches him compassion, and he lets them go. When the mob comes to kill the Phantom, all they find is his cape and mask. This is a story of love, revenge, mystery, outcasts of society, and forgiveness and compassion. The Phantom thought that the only way he could have Christine was to control her, and he had her in a spell of sorts, but she wanted to be with Raoul. The careful pity she showed him taught him a modicum of kindness rather than vengeance, which in a broader sense teaches us some lessons about how we should treat those who may have physical impairments and deformities. When Andrew Lloyd Webber approached Michael Crawford about being in Phantom, Crawford was certain that Andrew Lloyd Webber wanted him to play Raoul, the dashing French aristocrat. But alas, Webber was tapping him for the role of the Phantom. Here he is talking about this before his 1,000th performance.
You know, it's also really interesting about you that for a lot of people, you have sprung into the world, period. The Phantom is the first they really think about you in this country.
Yes.
You're a guy who until now has really made a reputation, at least in my mind, and correct me if I'm wrong, as a funny guy, as you were always the cutest guy in the movie. I remember first seeing you in a movie called The Knack.
Oh, yes.
And one would not have said, well, this is the man to play the supremely dramatic role in The Phantom. And am I right when I'm saying this?
Yes. I mean, when Andrew Lloyd Webber first said that he thought he might like me to play in The Phantom, I naively didn't really think, I didn't know what part he meant, and I thought maybe he meant the sort of young lover. But he didn't, though. I was lined up for the ugly one. But the similarity to comedy, I say again, of comedy and drama, you see someone like Jack Lemmon or Walter Matthau, the way they play drama and comedy and with exactly the same intensity, and it's very, very hard to play comedy. I think it's slightly easier to play drama.
It's true that comedy is often harder than drama. Perhaps the audience expectation is higher. But it seems that Crawford put as much sensitivity and vulnerability into his comedic characters as he put into the Phantom. And his life was certainly not easy. The rigor of performing 8 shows a week is very physically and vocally demanding. Crawford truly loved playing the Phantom and enveloping this character. And rather than feeling relief of ever relinquishing the role, he hoped it might never happen. Keep watching at epochtv.com/The Beau Show.